Hello and welcome back to World of Warcraft. This is going to be a quick video to show you how to set up the basics for the TellMeWhen add-on. And let's get right into it. First off, you probably want to set up a macro like this. Just TellMeWhen. And that way I have it right over here and I can just click and get in and out of the TellMeWhen interface very quickly. It's like having a button up here, but they don't have one. So it pops up and initially you'll have something like 4 boxes completely blank. And you're like, wait, I want more stuff to happen. So let's say, first off, you want to just find out, hey, if I don't have a buff going, we're going to do that. So to make this, you can move it anywhere. You can just drag it anywhere you want. You can make multiples of these. So let's say right here, I want to expand this and give myself one more room. Let's say this wasn't here. Let's say this wasn't here at all. And we wanted to have an extra spot for this. If we just right click and expand it like that, you can expand this down and back. Or you can make it bigger and smaller by left clicking. So we went and made it one bigger. Now let's say we're going to move it right over here. You just hold right click and then drag it over and move. But you don't even have this yet. So you're like, wait a second, I don't even have this. So let's do it from scratch. So we're going to add one on. So we've expanded it and I want it right over here to pop up. So I'm going to right click on this. And then I'm going to say in the drop down list here, I'm going to say a buff, debuff. And I'm going to type it right here. Mark of the Wild for me. Yours can be anything you want. Mark of, and it'll start to list them over here. Usually it's going to be the one towards the top of the list or whatever you're searching for. There we go. And it's going to be a buff. And then if it's, this is where for a buff on me, on the player, if it's absent, if it's present, I don't want it to be here. So if it's absent, light it up and go like that if it's present. So let's say okay. And we'll exit. And now here's the setup so far. You can ignore this for right now. And I'm going to say, oh, it's not there. Push it. Now it's up. Now it's off of there. So it's like a little reminder to tell me when, hey, we don't have that up. And it can be for any food buffs. You can add all kinds of stuff. Not only that, once I get enough buffs, I'll make a separate little buff window over here that pops up. And if it's up, that means I don't have the buff that I want on me. So we just put it back. And then you can test it again just by right-clicking up there. Sure enough. Cool. So let's go on to the next thing. Nice. For my class, I have this thing called Dream of Cenarius. And what it does is it makes my regrowth free under a certain condition. Only it's conditional. So I was like, well, it pops up and it kind of highlights it there. But if I'm focused on the fight, I want a big thing that says, hey, I've got a free massive heal that's available to me. So let's see how we set that up. We're going to go into TellMeWhen again. And it's right over here. And I use Bartender to move all my, this thing right here. I should make a little video on that too. It's really nice to have, just really nice key bindings and all that kind of stuff. So we want to set up this one right here, this TellMeWhen. I'm going to move this over here as well, away from these. I'm going to move it right there. But we're going to set this one up from scratch too. So you're going to go in here and it's a buff debuff. So when I get that buff, it pops up here, Dream of Cenarius. I was like, okay, it's on my player. And I typed in Dream of Cenarius and it was right there at the top of the list. Cool. And then I come down here and I want it to be the other way. If it's on me, then show this thing. And then if it's absent, just make it so it's all the way off instead of all the way on, just like that. And not only that, I want to have these two, the show timer and the show timer text. So let's go and say, okay. So exit. So now I don't have that buff, so it's not there. I do have that buff, so that's off. So we're in good shape. Let's flip the camera around and go into a fight. All right, so we'll go into a little fight here. And I'll show you the rest of those things on the right hand side, or the rest of these buttons, but those help me as well. I'm just waiting to see if that pops up during this fight. It should. There it is. Tells me how much time I have on it. Nice. We'll push it now. Keybind for it. Perfect. So now it's a very bright thing that pops up right here. Nice. I like it. Let's finish these guys off. Easy there, buddies. Okay, so that shows that kind of thing. And you might have some other reactive thing that pops up conditionally that you want to check and put there. Very cool. So that should help you there. whatever your thing that you want to buff that pops up for you, a freebie use of whatever, put it right there and you're good to go. Cool. All right, for me, I have Mangle, and Mangle, it has a cooldown on it, so I can't use it always. So this is not in range is all. That guy's not in range, so it's showing that. But like this one right here, I could do this right now, this right here, which is Thrash, but then it goes off cooldown, or it goes into cooldown. So I wanted that kind of this right here to remind myself, hey, I can use that. That's a good thing to use for an AoE. But this just doesn't mean it's in range. And then this is going to be this one right here when I don't have the power to cast that. So let's go and see what we can do here. We'll set up the first one. We'll do this one first. So we right click on there, we type in Mangle, or in your case, whatever it may be. I put a range check on there, that's fine. And then the range, if I'm out of range, it'll just, it'll look like that. And then if it's unusable, we'll make it a little bit like that, maybe. But if it's usable, highlight it perfectly. Now, also it's going to show the timer and the show timer text for Mangle, and it does a range check. Cool. So we say, all right. Now let's take a look at this one. This one's different. This one has a power check on it. It's Maul, but only if I have 40 rage, then it's going to light up. And if it's not ready, hide it. If it's out of power, put it like about, we'll say right there. And then if it's ready to be used, highlight it for me. That way I can use it if I'd like to. It does a power check. All this is cool. That's how you'd set up that for power checks type things. And then we're going to go into this one. TellMeWhen. This is the Thrash. And Thrash is something I'd like to use. The range check on it, I'm going to get rid of that range check. I don't care about that. If it's unusable, just hide it all the way. Usable, usable. And then it does have a timer. So let's see how this setup works for us. There we go. And let's go into this. And we'll just open up with that. There we go. Oh, I've got my... So now this tells me my Maul is available because I have the power for it. It tells me that the regrowth is available. I can take this one off of here now. Regrowth is available. What else? A bunch of stuff. So I can go like that. Do a bunch of AoEs. I can do my Mangle now. It tells me now. I've got 6 seconds on that one. That I'd probably... Let's get our timer back for that. So let's go back into TellMeWhen. I would like my timer back. The timer's there, but it's just so hidden. So let's go about right there. I think I like that better. There. Now I can see that one and this one. And let's see if we can do the Mangle to get that right. So now we can show the Mangle timer on there. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Then this one. Perfect. I can do a Maul. I'll Maul this guy. Maul him twice. Now it's not available because I don't have the power for it. Mangle. Then I can Maul again. This guy's almost donezer. Alright, so I think this should give you the basics, and you can make it even more complex. There's diminishing returns, there's all kinds of things. Oh, we have that up, so we can use it to heal ourselves. Beautiful. Alright, I hope this helps, and enjoy, guys. Very cool. I love TellMeWhen. It's a very useful add-on for people that are not super great at the game, where you can notice every single little thing. I don't want to look down here for my timers. These are the things I'm using during combat. I want to see them right up there. And I'll expand this too, you know. And I want to say, hey, if I forgot my buff, nobody likes that. Let's get that buff back on. What is that? Versatility 3%? I guess it's good. All right, guys. Have a good one and enjoy. I hope this helps. Very cool.